Hello, Internet! Shouth is here, and it's time for another episode of ShoutStone. We are going to be taking you to another game from the Hearthstone beta. This time, once again, contributed by one of our viewers. Remember that you can send me your games if you record them. Remember that Hearthstone is an open beta, so everybody can play. If you can record your games, send them to me. Best way to do it is through YouTube. Just upload it there and share with me the link. Make it unlisted or something like that if you don't want it to be public. Anyway, let's get to the action right now. It is...
Thrall versus Valera.
Watch.
Minaquo, playing the part of Thrall, the Shaman. And... fmezav. Not even a word. I don't even know what that is. fmezav, playing the part of Valera the Rogue. Anyway, at least they're two different classes, so I can just say the Rogue player. So that helps. Alright, things starting off early with a Murloc Raider. Not a whole lot to do with here. So I've been starting to hear reports that Blizzard is officially working on a observer client for Hearthstone. Finally. It's probably not something that's going to be available until after the game is fully released for a bit. But hey, I'm patient enough. The fact that they're officially working on it, for one, doesn't surprise me too much. Because it's been one of the most hotly requested things since the game's been available. But still, you know, I'm eagerly awaiting it because that's going to make my life infinitely easier. Excuse me, when it comes to casting games and stuff. Anyway, so the Rogue player building up a sizable bit of a minion force here. Nothing too ridiculously huge right now. A lot of low HP minions. It looks like our Shaman player is going to deal out a couple of wolves and that Feral Spirit ability. So that will provide some nice taunt resistance and some nice recovery just in case he wants to attack in with anything. So Wolf Rider can claim one of those. He would basically have to trade his entire force to get rid of both of those minions. Which may not be a terrible trade, because they are fairly cheap. But a good buff up by Raid Leader, that's going to allow him to take out... only lose 2 of them if he wants to take out everything in the field there. Granted, he'd be leaving behind the Knight. Alright, he's going to play Backstab instead. Okay, that's good. So he's going to be able to leave something a little more powerful on the field. And maybe sacrifice just the Murloc. But he's going to be able to keep the Wolf Rider, do 4 points of damage. So this could be a little bit of trouble. Excuse me, I'm very sorry. Yeah, this could be a little bit of trouble. He's going to need to establish a bit of a sort of damage dealing here. He does a good job of kind of clearing that out. Interesting use of Lightning Bolt there. Burns 3 damage. I guess he really didn't have much else to play with it. But he does clear the field. He managed to silence the Raid Leader, so it's basically just a 2-1 minion at this point. His mana's in a little bit of lockdown right now. Granted, he's just got 1 lockdown because of that Lightning Bolt. But some pretty good early damage being dealt before the midpoint of the game by the Rogue player. He's already got Minaquo down to 16 HP. Oh, excuse me, down to 14 HP. So he's below the halfway point. We're not even at the midway point of the game. So this could be good. Chillwind Yeti comes out. He's going to hit it up with Ancestral Healing to give it some taunt. Try to protect the little bit of health that he does have left. But it could be sufficient. You know, when you get to this point, that amount of health is really not a huge deal. You know, it's certainly not something that's going to, you know, turn the tide of the game. When you get down to like the low single digits, that's when you really got to start to worry. Oh, or when your opponent really gets to, you know, build up quite the force on their side of the table. Oh, I am really sorry, folks. Alright. So, Mogusha and Warden out there. But it's a big taunt exchange at this point on the field. Taunt cards can be fairly valuable at times. You don't see them too much in high-end play, though. It seems to be kind of like the mid to low-end that people really start to rely heavily on them. Interesting choice. Takes out the buffed-up Chillwind Yeti instead of that Fen Creeper. But, hey, you know, that's what it is. He's going to play that Fire Elemental, take out the Mogusha and Warden. and finally start dealing some damage to the opposing rogue player, I think. No, he's actually going to clear the field. That's probably a really smart move, you know. Do your part to get the field clear, remove those options for your opponent, and then worry about dealing damage. This might be just like a slow build, which you can see a lot. Players basically, they eat a little bit of damage early, but they start to build up their forces in the later game, and they really start to have quite the chunk of damage going forward. So he burns his second Assassinate on that Fire Elemental. He's really trying to finish off what's been a fairly good early rush, but I don't think it's going to pay off. He's going to have to meet up the slow burn, and here comes Ragnaros. That is an 8 points of damage that could be guaranteed. That is going to be the turning point of the game unless that can be dealt with. See, one of those Assassinates would have been much better served to take out that Ragnaros, but it was burned a little early. And that's a little bit of overzealousness. So the taunt will be a good job to at least take out any direct damage minions, but it won't stop Ragnaros. Ragnaros still might hit it, so it does provide an alternate target, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, it's going to. In fact, all that damage might still fly straight in the face of the rogue player. But we will see. So we're getting some good play out here as we get into the later part of the game. Another Fire Elemental could come out. He might use that to take out... Yeah, he's probably going to trade off that Fen Creeper, or at least take it out with the Fen Creeper, so there's no taunt, and there's guaranteed hit by Ragnaros on, excuse me, on the rogue player, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So very good job there. He's now in the lead in a pretty commanding fashion. I mean, look at these. He doesn't just have minions out there. He's got strong, powerful minions. I mean, if he can clear the field on this next turn, that's it. This game is over. This game's done. There's really no need to play any other cards. That was it. You know, GG at that point. So there you have it. That was a very quick game, but a good example of how you can sort of be on the back foot very early in the game, but build up towards your position. And that earned a little bit of a rank increase there. So from level 25 to 24. Very nicely done by Minaquo. But yeah, that's really the coolest example of that, is you can just see how, you know, you're playing the game out, and in the early points of it, before the halfway point, you eat quite a bit of damage, or you can potentially eat quite a bit of damage. But then you get to that later point, you've built up your forces, you've got tons of mana, and you can really start to own the field. So that was a great example of that, and why you don't necessarily need to have a big early rush. You just have to do it right. So there you have it. That's going to do it for this episode of ShoutStone. I will see you folks next time with more Hearthstone action. I've got a lot of pre-patch games that I probably want to get through, just because I've already got them ready to go, and it seems like a waste to not cast them. I'm going to be happy when this game kind of finally goes into a stable state, or gets an observer mode, where I can just pick games live. That would be lovely. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that fun and fantastic stuff. Check out the Games in 60 Seconds videos that are also up on this channel. Thank you all again. I will see you folks next time.